The conflict in Ukraine has been a focal point of global attention since it began in 2014. With a complex situation of history, geopolitics, and identity, this war has been a battleground for power and territory. But what's the story behind the headlines? How has the situation unfolded over the last 500 days? And what implications does it hold for Ukraine, Russia, and the rest of the world? In the past year and a half, we've witnessed a series of crucial events that have steered the direction of this conflict. From the fierce Battle of Avdiivka, where Ukrainian forces stood their ground amidst heavy shelling, to the Battle of Marinka, where they pushed back the separatists and reclaimed control. Each day brings fresh complexities to this intricate situation, but these battles and changes in control are only part of the story. The conflict has also shown several weaknesses in Russia's military abilities. Despite having more soldiers and better equipment, the Russian-backed separatists have had a hard time making big gains against the Ukrainian forces. The Ukrainian forces have been able to adapt and stay strong, and this, along with the limits of Russia's hybrid warfare strategy and the effects of international sanctions, have put pressure on Russia's military campaign. So, what weaknesses has this conflict revealed in Russia's military might? And what does this mean for the future of the region? As we go deeper into this topic, we'll explore these questions and more, giving a full analysis of the Ukraine conflict and its global geopolitical implications. One important part of the Ukraine conflict that we can't ignore is the role of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. This intergovernmental military alliance, comprising 30 North American and European countries, has played a big part in the world's response to the conflict. Since the beginning, NATO has been outspoken in its disapproval of Russia's actions. The alliance has not only criticized Russia's capture of Crimea and its support for separatist movements in eastern Ukraine, but has also taken concrete steps to counter Russia's military aggression. NATO has bolstered its presence in Eastern Europe, especially in countries that border Russia. This move sends a clear message to Russia that its military actions in Ukraine have not gone unnoticed and will not go unchallenged. Furthermore, NATO has given support to Ukraine in many ways. This includes political support, with NATO consistently advocating for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial rights. It also includes practical support, such as advice and help to reform Ukraine's security and defense sectors. However, it's crucial to note that while NATO's role in the conflict is significant, it's also complicated. The alliance has to balance its commitment to protect its members and uphold international law with the need to avoid escalating the conflict further. This delicate balancing act continues to shape NATO's response to the conflict and will likely influence its strategies moving forward. Russia is often seen as a powerful military force. It boasts the world's second-largest military budget, a huge stockpile of nuclear weapons, and a history of military that includes some of the most brutal and decisive battles of the 20th century. But the conflict in Ukraine has shown that Russia's military power isn't as invincible as it might seem. One of the key weaknesses exposed by the conflict is logistical. Russia's military, despite its size, has had problems with managing supplies, maintaining equipment, and rotating troops. These challenges have affected their ability to sustain prolonged operations in the geographically challenging eastern Ukraine. Supply chain issues have led to delays and shortages, affecting operational effectiveness. Equipment maintenance is another hurdle, with outdated machinery requiring frequent repairs, often in harsh conditions. Furthermore, issues with troop rotation have resulted in fatigue and low morale among the troops, impacting their performance. These logistical issues have not only hampered Russia's military operations, but have also exposed deeper systemic issues within its military. Addressing these will require significant reforms and improvements. But logistics isn't the only area where Russia has shown weakness. The conflict has also highlighted some technological limitations within the Russian military. Despite Russia's reputation for advanced military technology, a significant portion of its arsenal is outdated, requiring modernization. This has been especially noticeable in aerial combat, where the Ukrainian Air Force, despite its smaller size and budget, has effectively countered Russian forces. Moreover, Russia's reliance on older technology goes beyond just equipment. Their military infrastructure, including communication systems and command and control networks, also heavily relies on outdated technology. This not only limits their operational capabilities, but also makes them vulnerable to cyber attacks. In the digital age, where warfare is increasingly conducted on the cyber front, this technological gap could prove to be a significant disadvantage for Russia. It's not just about having the most advanced weapons, but also about how effectively you use them. And this brings us to another critical aspect of warfare: tactics. Tactically, the Russian military's approach in Ukraine has raised serious questions. Rather than using clever strategies or tactical planning, Russian forces have often resorted to brute force, relying on their overwhelming firepower. This approach has led to significant civilian casualties and extensive infrastructure damage, leaving a trail of physical and psychological scars on the local population. The fear, loss, and destruction have only fueled resentment and resistance among Ukrainians, undermining the effectiveness of Russia's tactics. Moreover, this brute force approach has had far-reaching implications beyond the immediate battlefield. In the global arena, maintaining a positive international image and winning the narrative are as crucial as military victories. The high civilian casualties and infrastructure damage have attracted global condemnation, isolating Russia diplomatically. The Ukraine conflict has underscored the importance of strategic planning in modern warfare and could significantly influence the future of Russia's military strategy and its global standing. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has not only reshaped the geopolitical landscape but also triggered significant political repercussions within Russia. The way the Kremlin has portrayed the conflict, spread through state-controlled media, has fueled nationalistic feelings, rallying support for the government's actions. However, as the war continues, the economic strain from Western sanctions and the human cost of the conflict are starting to test the patience of the Russian public. This prolonged conflict has led to a noticeable divide in public opinion. While some people support the government's stance, a growing number are expressing their disillusionment, leading to an uptick in public protests. This dissent, often met with repression, further fuels the discontent, creating a cycle of unrest. The societal impact of the conflict is not limited to the civilian population. The ripple effects extend to the very heart of Russia's military might, its troops. The same sense of disillusionment and frustration felt by the public is mirrored within the ranks of the Russian military, revealing a significant lack of morale and motivation among the troops. Many of these soldiers, often the rookies, find themselves ill-prepared for the harsh realities of war. They are thrust into a conflict that they may have little personal investment in, leading to disillusionment and instances of desertion. Reports of poor treatment, inadequate training, and low pay have further undermined morale, affecting their performance on the battlefield and their reintegration into civilian life post-conflict. The psychological toll of the conflict on these soldiers is immense. Coupled with the lack of adequate mental health support, this has led to a mental health crisis among the troops. Furthermore, the Russian government's attempts to downplay their military involvement in the conflict has resulted in a lack of recognition and support for returning soldiers, affecting their morale and ability to seek help upon returning home. This lack of support and recognition is not just a military issue, but a societal one, further fueling the cycle of discontent and unrest within Russia. So, what does all this mean for the future of Russia's military? It's clear that while Russia remains a significant military power, the conflict in Ukraine has exposed some critical weaknesses. Addressing these weaknesses will require significant reforms, investment, and a change in military culture and strategy. But it's also clear that military power is about more than just numbers or firepower. It's about logistics, technology, tactics, and above all, people. And in these areas, the conflict in Ukraine has shown that Russia has a lot of work to do. We hope this exploration has given you some insights into the complexities of this ongoing conflict. If you found this analysis valuable, we'd appreciate it if you could give us a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global affairs. We're curious to hear your thoughts on this topic. What do you think the future holds for Russia's military? And how do you see the Ukraine conflict evolving? Please leave a comment below with your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and as always, keep questioning.